and gentlemen, it's my pleasure to welcome all of you to this Solomon Schechter Academy graduation. It is truly a family affair for all of us because we see ourselves as one community and as one family, part of the larger Congregation Shereth Israel family. I'd like to, first of all, welcome all of the parents, all of the grandparents, cousins, brothers and sisters, and former graduates who are here. It's your presence that gives the message, the clear message, to our students and to our teachers and to our Schechter community that this is a program and this is an evening that matters for each one of you. There's a lot that has gone into the development of our students. Some of it has come from you parents, and I know that as the evening progresses, many different kinds of images will flash before your eyes. Images associated with Solomon Schechter, other images from your family history. And that's natural and that's wonderful. It's very special, however, for our teachers because they have also made an enormous contribution to what they hope will be the shaping and growth of our students. And so, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to ask all of our faculty if you would rise and please turn around so that everyone could greet you. Please. I'd also like to welcome the new Chazan of Congregation Shereth Israel, Chazan Yitzchak Jerebker, and I hope that you will be involved with our program. Chazan, welcome to our community. This year's group of graduates represents a special moment in our history. So many of these students were in the very first two-year-old class that met at this building located on what was then called Starbuck. A number of our students are following in the footsteps of their siblings. Ben Kogut, Staci Lifshin, Aaron Rosenstock, and Adam Schweig are the second members of their families to graduate from our school, and Molly Richmond is the third. Aaron and Ryan Morgan are the first siblings, at least in my history at Solomon Schechter, to graduate in the same class. It's an important statement for us because we consider ourselves at Solomon Schechter a family and a community. And the continuity among siblings, among members of the same family, is a very powerful reflection of this feeling. In the parasha we read this Shabbat, the opening phrase is Naso et Rosh, and then it talks about the different tribes. And we usually translate it as count the heads of these people. But our rabbis today think of it in a little different way. They think of it as lift up the head. I know rabbis such as Shlomo Riskin understand this to mean that when a Jewish census is more than counting. It's more than just seeing whether you have a minyan. It's a spiritual experience in raising people's pride and self-esteem. And so my students, as you finish the 8th grade, you are still really at the beginning of your lives as students and as Jews. But I pray that you will go forward with pride in your Jewishness, eager to learn more and to do more, and to take your place as proud and active members of our Jewish community. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm very proud to call upon the first people who will invoke greetings to you because it is due to his efforts, along with a number of leading lay people, Willie Waldman and Irvin Donsky, that Solomon Schechter Academy exists. So please let me welcome for all of you Rabbi Jordan Offsire, Senior Rabbi of Congregation Shereth Israel.
Thank you very much, Dr. Rosenblatt. Very good evening to all of you. I want to as well extend welcome to you on behalf of Shereth Israel, to say congratulations to all of the parents and grandparents and extended mishpacha, to all of you graduates, to my right and to my left, and I'm delighted that there are in fact so many graduates this year. And I must say, as I look around, I have the sense, looking at the graduates and knowing where they have come from, they, their parents, you, parents and grandparents, it really is a kibbutz galuyot, an ingathering of Jews from all over the world. And the reality is that all of us, if you will, at some time or another have come from Saint elsewhere, wherever that elsewhere happens to be. And all of us have found a home in Dallas. And it's very special that all of you have found a Jewish home at Solomon Schechter. So it's with a great sense of pride that I say congratulations to all of you on this very special occasion. But having congratulated all of you, I want to challenge you as well. I want to challenge you and I want to challenge your parents with the following question. Where are your children, where are you going to be continuing your Jewish education next year? That's the challenge that I want to present to all of you on this night of accomplishment. To have been at Solomon Schechter and to have graduated establishes a wonderful foundation, but a foundation must be built upon. And that challenge includes the following specific challenge. Where would all of you be, parents, grandparents, and where will all of you graduates be? Where would you be if you had ended your general education where these boys and girls are about to end their Jewish education? How many of you would be enjoying what you are enjoying today? How many of you would be accomplished as you are accomplished today? And how would your lives be profoundly different if you had ended your general educations where you had ended your Jewish educations? And I make the same challenge to you, graduates. You have this wonderful foundation to build upon. But hopefully it's engendered in you not only a knowledge of Judaism, but an interest in it and the desire to continue. Now when you can begin to deal with Jewish ideals and concepts and values as you have with Jewish traditions, I challenge you in whatever way you choose to continue your Jewish education, even as you will continue your Jewish education. And I urge you, parents and grandparents, even in this moment of great accomplishment, to be concerned for that future and to assure their continuity in some significant setting of Jewish education. And I want to conclude by describing this verse that you see in Hebrew that graces the entrance to the first building that was built for Solomon Schechter. The phrase reads, Al tikra banayich ela bonayich. Call them not merely your children, banayich, but your builders, bonayich. But friends, this is a continuation of a verse that has more, that comes before this, that isn't here. And the part that isn't here reads, V'chol banayich limudei Adonai. When all your children shall be taught of the Lord, Rav Shalom Banayich. Then shall the peace of your children be great. And then it continues. Call them not merely your children, Banayich, but the play on words, call them rather Bonayich. Call them those who shall build you up, even as you have built them up. My friends, parents, grandparents, graduates, that process of Jewish building is a lifelong process. And for you to be not merely our children, but our builders, that process needs to continue lovingly and by choice all the days of your lives. And so it is with great love and affection that I hope that you, our children, shall be in the most important sense our Jewish builders as well. Congratulations, and may you go mechayil el choyil, from strength to strength. Mazel tov and congratulations.
Erev Tov. On behalf of the graduating class of 1996, I welcome you this evening. We will begin our graduation ceremony tonight by davening the Ma'ari service together. We would like to introduce tonight's service with the following reading.
We face the eternal every moment. It is not only in the synagogue that we should know before whom we stand. We face the eternal every moment we live. We stand before God in every action we take.
The presence of the Lord fills the whole world. His glory is everlasting. There is no place in the heavens or the earth that is not holy.
There is no moment in time that is not sacred, no aspect of existence that does not bear the seal of godliness.
If we but open our eyes, we would recognize, as did Jacob of old, that the gateway to heaven is wherever we stand.
It is to open our eyes to the holiness everywhere about us and the godliness within us that we gather in this house of prayer.
Here, we renew those bonds which link us to our people and our faith.
Here we seek to glimpse the total dimension of human life, to sense the drama that is Judaism, and the role of prophets, poets, and sages in fashioning that drama.
Here we are reminded of those who dedicated their lives to the sacred task of guiding us to an ever fuller appreciation of those values which exalt life.
Out of the fullness of our hearts, we give thanks for the privilege of sharing in this service.
We now begin the Ma'ari service. Please rise.
Please be seated. Amariv Aravim. We thank you, God, for bringing on the evening dusk. You have created a world with order, with wisdom, and with understanding. You have created day and night, rolling light away from darkness and darkness away from light.
We continue with the first bracha before Kriyat Shema, praising God for the gift of creation, followed by the second bracha before the Shema, acknowledging God's gift of Torah as a sign of his love.
Chai v'kayam ta'amini imloch aleinu le'olam va'ed baruch atah Adonai Amariv Aravim. Ve'aftecha al tasir imenu le'olamim baruch atah Adonai ohev amo Yisrael. Shema
Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'kol levavecha u'b'kol nafshecha u'b'kol yodecha ve'hayu ha'dvarim ha'eleh asher anochi metzavecha hayom al levavecha ve'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam Yeshivdecha, Veitecha, Uvetecha, Uvetecha, Ushachvecha, Ukumecha, Ukshacha, Adonai Elohim, amen.
We affirm with the sinning of Mika Mocha that He is our God and there is no other. We are His people and He is our Redeemer. We continue with the first bracha after the Shema, praising God as the eternal Redeemer of the people Israel.
Umalchuto beratzon kiblu aleichem, Moshe v'nei Yisrael lechanu shira b'simcha rabba v'emru kulam. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nedar b'kodesh, nora teilot osefer. Malchutecha rahu v'avnecha bokayam lifnei Moshe ze lianu ve'amru Adonai imloch le'olam va'ed v'ne'emar ki fada Adonai et Yaakov v'go'alov mi'ad hazak mimenu baruch atah Adonai ga'al Yisrael.
Please read responsively with me as we continue our service. Help us, O God, to lie down in peace, but teach us that peace means more than quiet. Grant us the peace that comes from honest dealing, so that no fear of discovery will haunt our sleep. Liberate us from enslaving habits, which disturb us and give us no rest. May we feel no remorse at night for what we have done during the day. May we lie down in peace tonight and wake tomorrow. We continue with the Hashkivenu prayer.
ושמור צאתנו ובינו לחיים ולשלום מעתה ועד עולם. ברוך אתה אדוני שומר עמו ישראל לעד. כי המלכות שלך היא לעולמי תמלוך בכבוד, כי אין לנו מלך אלא אתה, ברוך אתה אדוני, המלך בכבודו תמיד ימלוך עלינו לעולם ועד, ועל כל מעשיו.
As we turn to the Mariv Amidah, we continue with the Hatzikadosh. The Amidah is said silently in the evening. Please rise.
Yikadal ve'yikadash shemei Rabbah ve'amadi rakute ve'melech malchute mechayechonu v'yonechonu v'yetechol v'et Yisrael Bagala u'bizman karib ve'meru amen ve'shmei Rabbah mevorach le'olam u'lomei omaya yibarach Yishabach ve'yishabach v'bar v'terman v'yinaseh v'yitadar v'yitale v'yitalao shemei dekudesha le'la micho berchata v'shirata tishberchata v'necher mata damira me'alma ve'meru amen. Please be seated as we conclude the Amidah with the singing of Oseh Shalom, followed by the Kaddish Shalom and Aleinu. Oseh Shalom b'Ramah, Oseh Shalom Aleinu, Le'al Kol Yisrael, Ve'imru, Imru, Amen. Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu, Ve'al Kol Yisrael, Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu, Ve'al Kol Yisrael, Ve'meru, Amen. Yikara v'yikara Shemei Rabbah, Ve'amad yizrach yirtei v'yamlich malchutei, V'chayechon v'yamechon v'chayedecho b'Yisrael, V'alalav yizman kari v'ymeru, Yehei Shmei Rabbah mevorach, Le'olam le'olam me'almaya, Yiparach, Yiparach v'yishtabach v'yipar v'yishman v'yinaseh, V'yitadar v'yitale v'yitala shemei dekudesha, Le'la mikol berchata v'shirata, Tishbachata v'nechemata, Damiram b'yama v'yimeru, Tikabel tzalatohan v'ataham, D'chol Yisrael, Kadam avuhandi v'yishmaya v'yimeru, Yehei shlam rabba mishmaya, V'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'yimeru, Oseh shalom b'Ramah, Yaseh shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'yimeru, Amen.
Please rise for the Aleinu on page 15.
Amen.
ככתוב בתורתך,
Before we recite the Mourner's Kaddish, we would like to remember some very special people who are here in spirit and without whom we would not be. Milton Weinberger, Irvin Yannick, Ronnie Levine, Sheldon Lifshin, Victor Richmond, Moshe Jinich, Maris Selsky, Eugene Roth, Debbie Shapiro, Ben Schweig, Helen Schweig, Bryna Roth, Gertie Stokel, Eva Rosenstock, Barbara Kelmanson, Aaron Poliak, and Enrique Rosenstock. Please remain standing for the Mourner's Kaddish. Yikadav, Yikadav, Shemei Rabbah, Namal Dirav, Yote, Yamlik Mapute, Yachayakon, Yonekon, Yonekon, Yisrael, Bagalav, Zman Kari, Vimru Amen, Yeshmei Rabbah, V'Rav, V'Rav, Yidbarav, V'Shabbat, V'Par, V'Traman, V'Naseh, V'Tadar, V'Taleh, V'Talal, Shnei Kushal, V'Rifu, Le'olam, Mikol Berkatal, Shiratal, Tushbekatal, V'Nechamatal, Damiran Yamla, V'Romen, Yehi Shlama Rabba Mishamaya, V'Hayim V'Yirah Israel, V'Romen, Aseh Shalom V'Romav, V'Aseh Shalom, Aleinu Yalko Israel, V'Romen.
I mentioned earlier that we're part of a family, and tonight we're going to have greetings from an ever-widening circle of our family. First, I'd like to call on Mr. Robert Feldman, who is the president of Congregation Sheriff Israel.
Thank you, Dr. Rosenblatt. Thank you for inviting me to address the 1996 graduates and families and staff of Solomon Schechter Academy. As I said to Rabbi Ofsire as he sat down, his comments certainly bear repeating, and so that's what I intend to do. As the Day School of Congregation Shereth Israel, we take great pride in the success of Solomon Schechter and in those families and students who continue through the 8th grade. Each of our graduates has proven themselves to be dedicated to study. Your learning environment is very special in that it includes both Judaic and general studies. You have a wonderful advantage over other Jewish students. Judaism permeates your daily school life. It is not segregated to a few hours of study each week. This difference should help you to keep Judaism as a vibrant part of your life after you leave Solomon Schechter. But don't take this for granted. If there is any message that I hope to impart, it is this: keep studying. You have been blessed with more Judaic knowledge and support than most students your age, but you are still at the beginning of your life. Jewish learning must be a lifelong endeavor. Seek out Jewish youth groups. Go to Israel on teen tours. Find the next level of Jewish learning at Shechter Israel or at your synagogue. Please don't stop now. We need you to continue growing so that you can be the Jews of the next millennium. Without you, Judaism will have no growth and vitality. You are our future. On behalf of the entire Shechter Israel family, congratulations and mazel tov.
Earlier I mentioned one of the founders of our school, Willie Waldman, and so it's a great pleasure to present part of our larger family circle, representing the Federation of Greater Dallas, Mrs. Andrea Weinstein, who is the president of the Jewish Federation of Dallas, who is also the daughter of Willie Waldman and also a Schechter grandparent, and someone we see frequently here at our preschool Shabbat. So it is my great pleasure to welcome and to call upon Andrea Weinstein to bring greetings from our Federation.
Thank you, Dr. Rosenblatt. It is indeed a pleasure. One of the very special perks of being the president of the Federation is that I get to come here at least once a year and have had the opportunity to do that over the last few years. And it is indeed on behalf of the Board of Directors and the officers of the Federation that I do bring you greetings. I bring you greetings and I bring you congratulations. To the young men and women on either side of me, I say something very special to you. You sit here tonight, and I want you to look out at those looking at you. Because when you do, you will see the smiling faces of mothers, fathers, grandparents, aunts, uncles, sisters, brothers, and certainly, not least of all, your teachers. The ladies and gentlemen who have spent the last many years with you teaching you values, not only Jewish values, but human values, academia. They have prepared you to move forward into the world that you now will become a part of. They have hopefully given you the responsibility and the knowledge not only to carry forward what they have taught you, but to give you the energy and to give you the fortitude and to give you the courage to remain who you are. You are very fortunate young men and women. Your parents chose to bring you to Solomon Schechter. You must now choose, as you go forward in your life, to remember that choice that they made for you. And hopefully, one day, you will make that same choice for your children. We call that door to door, from generation to generation. And so may it be. Mazel tov, Yasher Koach.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to our graduation. I'd like to congratulate all of you, family and friends of the graduates, and especially would like to congratulate all of these students on reaching this graduation. They have worked hard and they have earned it. Our speaker tonight really needs very little introduction because he's well known to all of you. Over the years, Rabbi Weinberg has served as spiritual leader and teacher to our students. Both he and Wendy have been instrumental in all of our children having learned about Judaism, its ceremonies, and its values. He has served as a leader and tour guide for New York trips for these students, and he has helped them learn the joys of Jewish culture and also the maturity necessary to make these trips and for the rest of their lives. Rabbi Weinberg serves as leader for services in this synagogue, creating warmth and love among the many families, young and old, who attend each week. His leadership at Solomon Schechter Academy, his spiritual guidance and teaching at our school, have brought us to recognize the important role he plays in our Jewish life at Schechter. Please welcome our speaker, Rabbi Stefan Weinberg.
Thank you, Philip, for your gracious introduction. And thank you, Howard, the administration, and teachers, for the honor of being asked to address this year's graduating class at Solomon Schechter Academy. 10 days ago, as was mentioned a minute ago, Wendy and I returned from this year's graduation trip with 17 exhausted students. Woven between the few hours of sleep allowed us each night, we essentially made memories for 7 days. For some, our trip really provided the first opportunity to ride in a yellow school bus. We will all remember the now famous retort, "We'll be there in 5 more minutes." At the Washington Monument, we were reprimanded for speaking while someone more important was speaking, a U.S. park ranger, which led to perhaps the first time in history that a belligerent student was cast off the elevator at the Washington Monument. And at the same location, a bitter argument ensued regarding the identification of a flying object. Was it a bat or really a nighthawk? There were certain tendencies to spill various kinds of liquid that became self-evident throughout the trip, and pizza stories in Georgetown that will always be remembered. There is, in fact, a particular park in West Orange, New Jersey, which still feels the heartbeat of a few of our girls, while a couple of girls from Marshall, Michigan, will always remember a few minutes in the lobby of the FBI building with the Solomon Schechter Academy from Dallas, Texas. Friends, from the humor of sheer madness at the Kennedy Center to the humor of our inability to find our way back home through the fog on our final evening in New Jersey, the memories that were created during this trip will be retained for a lifetime. But this trip was only the culmination of years of memories that were created with love, with dedication and commitment by everyone, from parents to students to teachers, administrators, and support staff, all associated with Solomon Schechter Academy, while you were fortunate to be in attendance. While in Washington, D.C., we stood as a group before the burning flame in the National Holocaust Museum, reciting Kaddish and reading from the book of Devarim. Rak hishamer lecha u'shmor nafshecha meod, pen tishkach et hadvarim asher ra'u einecha. Chiseled into the marble was the English translation. Take the utmost of care and scrupulously guard your soul so that you shall never forget the things you saw with your own eyes. Lest you let that which you have seen fade from your mind as long as you live, make sure that your children and your children's children know and understand what you have seen. Talmidim, Chaverim, the underlying message for us today as students of the Holocaust is that memory alone is insufficient. We must never forget what happened due to the outrageous German mentality. But if that memory does not translate into action, if it does not cause us to be more vigilant and more outspoken and more committed to who we are and our responsibility in this world, then our memory remains a memory only, stored in the museum of our mind, waiting to be dusted off perhaps one day. Your education here at Solomon Schechter is similar. You carry away from this warm and loving environment your Beit Sefer, years of memories. Here is where you have been molded in your most formative years. Here at Solomon Schechter, you were given wonderful opportunities to grow, to discover, to question, and begin the process of defining who you are. But above everything else, what defines your education at this school, what sets your education apart from most other educational experiences, is your exposure to your Jewish heritage. I urge you, I implore you, I beg you not to let your Jewish education, your Jewish identity, your Jewish practices be relegated to the museum of your mind. We need you. You are our future leaders. You are our best and the brightest. We need you to assume positions of leadership in BBYO, in NIFTY, in NCSY, in USY. We need you to speak out on Jewish concerns because you know something about Judaism. Get up 10 minutes early in the morning and daven before you head off to St. Mark's or Hillcrest. Remind yourself that you are Jewish every day and that you carry a special perspective of the world with you. Do you realize how easy it will be to forget about Pesach while at Clark High School or Hakaday? Do you know how easy it will be to blend in, to lose your distinctiveness, to lose, in fact, your Jewish identity while at Shepton or Shelton? Do you recognize how easy it will be to keep your mouth shut when someone directs an accusation toward Israel or the Jewish people? As Dr. Rosenblatt mentioned at the outset this evening, the opening line of this week's Sedra states, Naso et Rosh. Lift up your head, the Torah states, and be counted. Express your Jewish pride. It's not easy to take a stand and be counted. It takes great courage to speak out, to be recognized as one willing to do so. The first time will be the most difficult, I guarantee. And thereafter, the butterflies in your stomach will progressively diminish as you become progressively more confident. On behalf of everyone who has been privileged to have had a hand in your education at this wonderful school, I express the hope that you will always view the world from a Jewish perspective. When you see someone being hurt in your class at Park Hill, when you see a classmate being taken advantage of at Green Hill or at Suncoast in Florida, you will recall the stance that Moses took in Egypt and the words of the prophets who spoke out and confronted injustice despite any personal hardship. When you are hurting and lacking in confidence, I trust you will remember the touching words which Hannah addressed to God when she was in need of support. When you question the theological principles upon which our tradition, our Masoret, is premised, you will turn to the lucid explanations offered by the giants of our people, the Gedolei Hador, like Maimonides and Heschel and the Vilna Gaon. These people are your heroes. Let them continue to speak to you. You have something few other human beings have been privileged to acquire. Everyone who has been successful in this world, who has made lots of money and acquired many material goods, and who has reflected on that success, has realized that pure economic success is very hollow. In fact, it's rather unrewarding after a certain point. You have what so many people in this world will never have. You have a value system, a Jewish value system, which incorporates faith in God. Don't let anyone take that away from you. Let it guide you, let it speak to you, and let it give you the courage you need to address the more demanding moments in your life. Remember this one phrase, the phrase that was placed on this Torah table covering that your class has donated to Beit Aryeh in honor of your graduation. Memorize it. Da lifnei mi ata omed. Know before whom you stand. Each of us stands before God every day. But each of us must remind ourselves to permit the Kadosh Baruch Hu to speak to us. May all that you have learned at Solomon Schechter guide you well in the world, and may you always consider yourself at home in the presence of our Jewish community. We say, Chizku v'imtzu. May you go forward with resolve and courage, blessed always with Ruach Elohim, the Spirit of our God. Amen and Mazel Tov.
We've been blessed with the second largest graduating class in our history, and yet we feel that it's important to hear from each and every one. And so at Schechter, we don't have a valedictory address or other kinds of ways of singling out individuals. Instead, we have a collection of albums that we've had now for this is our 5th album, where we have the thoughts and ideas and value statements of each of our students. Sometimes we even have their photograph. We hope that we will get a photograph of each and every one. And so you saw that album that is on the podium, and we will now begin to hear from each and every student about the ideas that they have now, their memories and their thoughts about Schechter as they are experiencing them this evening. I'd like to call upon Ariel Borrego.
I've been at Solomon Schechter Academy since I was in the 2nd grade, and throughout those years I was given a great education in every subject, I made new friends, and I experienced Jewish life. During all this time, I've had really good teachers. Although I would like to thank them all, I only have a couple of minutes. Instead, I'll say one big thank you to all of them. Thank you. I believe the Solomon Schechter Academy is a great place to make strong relationships with friends and teachers. When I moved here from San Francisco, I did not know anybody in this school. But because Solomon Schechter is small and Jewish, the atmosphere is close-knit. Everyone knows and cares about each other. Whether it's through projects, holiday celebrations, free time, sports, student council, or social actions, or our recent trips, we have gotten to know and appreciate each other very much. As Akiva ben Mahalel taught, Da ma'ayin bata ule'an ata holech ulifnei mi ata atid latet din v'cheshbon. Know your origin, your destination, and before whom you will be required to give an accounting. Schechter has helped me understand my origins. I've learned so much about all the Jewish holidays, my people's past, and even my own family's past. This knowledge has mainly come these past 2 years with Rabbi Stern and will be the basis for my future life as a good Jew. Statistics show that the longer kids stay in Jewish education, the more active they will be as Jews in their adult lives. Well, thanks to my parents for putting me in the right place, and thank you, Solomon Schechter, for filling in the contents.
Abraham Schwager.
Time is up and I need to move on to another school. I know it's not going to be as much fun as it has been at Solomon Schechter. I will have to start over, make new friends, and get to know everybody around me. But these are not the only reasons why I will miss Solomon Schechter. The main one is that Solomon Schechter is a very small school compared to the public school. That makes our school much warmer and also safer. So we are closer to each other, and it feels like we are one big family. And we are not just any family, we are a Jewish family. This makes our school very different from others. For me, Solomon Schechter has been a first step on a big mountain, which I call my career. Sometimes it will be very hard for me to climb, sometimes easy, and sometimes I will fall down. But Solomon Schechter, my first step, will always help me to get back up and continue on my journey. Al Shloshat Dvarim Ha'olam Emet, Al HaTorah, Al HaVadah, Ve'al Milut Hasadim. The world stands on 3 things: the Torah, work, and the good deeds. I learned these lessons at Solomon Schechter. Thank you very much, Dr. Rosenblatt, Rabbi Asar, and Mr. Pasquez, and all the teachers at Solomon Schechter for helping me to survive through my first and second years here. Special thanks go to the following people who taught me the subject I have never learned before. Dr. Rosenblatt and Rabbi Stern, my Judaica teachers, Mrs. Birnbaum and Mrs. Cohen, my Hebrew teachers, Mrs. Geffen, Mrs. Long, and Mrs. Hunt, my English teachers, and Mrs. Keel, my Texas and U.S. history teacher. These classes were all new to me. I also appreciate the help of my other teachers, Mrs. Ashby, Mrs. Budzin, Mrs. McKeon, Mrs. Pasia, Mrs. Jonas, Mrs. Kaplan, and Mrs. Ronstein. I would not have as much knowledge as I do now without all of you. Finally, I would like to read a poem which I wrote about Solomon Schechter. I call it My Home. The last days of school are coming, and there are many places where I can go. But where will I find a school like Schechter in the world? I know that later, in the future, I'll find a place for me to go. But will it be as good as Schechter, my unforgettable, my home?
Michael Mordechai Gardner.
In Judaism, we believe that Torah is Etz HaChaim, the tree of life. The tree of life has a base from which it grows. It then develops branches and leaves that are dependent on that base. It grows in one place for years. My base has been Solomon Schechter Academy. Because of Solomon Schechter, I have grown many branches and leaves, and I am now standing high and proud. Some of these branches represent my education and friends. These branches make a tree look better and make me look happier. Had I not come to this school, my educational branch would be much weaker. Like a tree, I have grown in this school for 12 years. I will miss this school. I find it unfortunate that all of us, like the leaves of a tree, will be spread out over many schools, but I hope to keep in touch with all of you. Thank you, Solomon Schechter, for everything.
Obviously, I was reading from right to left instead of left to right. Evan Fuller.
I have learned a lot in my years at Schechter since I came here in the 3rd grade. I would like to thank all the teachers and staff for giving me a good education and Jewish background. Although I may not have enjoyed every minute of school, it has prepared me well for high school. As part of the Hallel service states, Even ma'asu ha-bonim, hayta l'rosh pinah. The stone rejected by the builders has become the cornerstone. I am like this stone. Although I felt I didn't belong when I first came here, I now see that Solomon Schechter has become a cornerstone in my life.
Henry C. Village.
Shalom Chaverim. I have so much to say in so little time. So to make it easier for me, and of course you, I will describe my years at Schechter by using a football field metaphor. I have divided the field into 13 parts. The first part represents my first year in Schechter. The last part this year. All the events in between have been filled with a diversity of emotions. Happiness, sadness, frustration, and success. Today, my 100-yard run has almost come to an end. And thus, I will thank the people who have taught me how to run, catch, and pass. I would like to thank my teachers for their help, love, advice, and so many countless other coaching tips, all the way from preschool through middle school. Thanks again to all my caring teachers. Toda al kol asher natatem, al hadvash ve'al ha'oketz, al hamar ve'al matok. Thank you for everything you gave, for the honey and for the sting, for the sweet and the bitter. Moving on, I would like to thank my friends for 13 wonderful years. 13 years is a long time for a teenager. All my friends have helped me through good times and bad times. Thanks a lot. I will always remember each and every one of you. Now I'd like to thank my mom, dad, and my little sister. I have no idea how you put up with me. Driving me here and there, taking me to the library, helping with projects like the Invention Convention, and so many more things. Thank you so much. I've never appreciated your help and love until this year. Today I've scored a touchdown with 1 second left. Thanks for giving me the chance to play on the mighty, educated field.
Kabar Khan.
When an important event takes place in my life, I often don't realize what is happening until it is right before my eyes. This graduation is one of those major events. We've been talking about this night for months already, but just now I have realized that this chapter of my life is over, and unlike with a book, I can't rewrite this section. On Rosh Hashanah, we use the phrase, B'Sefer HaChaim Tichatevu v'Tichatemu. May you be inscribed in the book of life. I think that we each have a book of life that we may write any way we choose. With the help of this school, I have begun to write a Jewish book. When I leave Solomon Schechter, I will take with me only the wonderful memories I have made here. Memories of my great friends and loving teachers. Schechter is like a second home for me, a place where one gains a Jewish and secular education, where rabbis tell Shabbat stories, where friends support you no matter what, and where there's always someone there to help with a stubborn locker. Such simple but special memories will stay close to my heart as I finish my book. Thank you to my parents, friends, and teachers. Toda al hakol.
Hanan Michael Kelmans.
My years here at Solomon Schechter have been memorable times which have enriched my life. I've developed friendships which I hope will endure for years to come. Solomon Schechter has given me a strong foundation in Judaism, has given me a strong sense of morals and values. There are many people I need to thank for helping me with my education, both socially and academically. First of all, I would like to thank my friends for always being there for me, sharing the good times and always encouraging me when I need it. They practice what Rabbi Eliezer taught. Ihi kavod havracha havicha alecha keshalcha. Cherish your friends and honor them as your own. I'd like to thank my parents for motivating me to do my best and always giving me their love. I'd also like to thank my brother Greg, who has always been a great brother, someone to share growing up with. Finally, my grandparents, Julius and Francis Coleman, have been very important in my development. They have given me a great Judaic background. During my 12 years here at Solomon Schechter, I have grown academically and emotionally. I look forward to the future, but I will always look back at the times I had here as some of the best times of my life.
Benjamin Shlomo Baruch Koka.
To all my friends, teachers, relatives, and the administration of Solomon Schechter, I would like to thank each of you for coming tonight. I have spent 12 memorable years at Solomon Schechter, learning so many wonderful skills that will help me become a good Jewish person in life. This graduation means so much to me. It means that I will no longer be able to call Solomon Schechter my school. I have seen my brother, only 3 years ago, graduate from the school and move on to others. I know that my sister will graduate here in 7 years. Finally, Schechter has been my home and school, and I am proud to be in the first class that is able to say we have finished every grade at Schechter at this location. Starting at 2 years of age, I felt that Solomon Schechter was my school. School was the first time I was able to have friends, and luckily, I was able to meet the best friends a person can have, many of whom are here today. We have journeyed through so many times to finally reach this point. After preschool, we were looking forward to elementary school. First grade with Mrs. Rubin, who was great, started the beginning to a wonderful and successful elementary school year, and eventually many more to come. Second grade was a good year with Mrs. Handler, and definitely sealed all of our friendships that we have today. After second grade, all of elementary school just seemed to zip by, with Miss Silo for third grade, and Mrs. Keller for fourth grade, and our Hebrew teachers, Mrs. Stein, Mrs. Lazarovich, Mrs. Perlmutter, and Mrs. Herson. Solomon Schechter has given me so many memories that I will cherish for the rest of my life. Schechter has taught me the many Jewish skills that I know I will use, such as those learned at my bar mitzvah. I am now able to chant many Hebrew blessings, and when I am 16 years old, I plan on taking a trip to Israel where I will be able to understand and speak Hebrew. I would again like to express a very big thank you to Solomon Schechter for this. Middle school has brought me the greatest times ever. The transition from elementary to middle school was really a bigger step than I imagined it would be. 5th grade was a good time for me. I had Mrs. Schwartz, a great teacher and family friend. She introduced me to a higher level of language arts and prepared us very well for what was still to come. Mrs. Geffen. From year to year, our class became even closer. We knew each other so well, maybe too well. The middle school years also brought us closer as friends through many trips, such as camping with Mr. McCready and the great trip around Texas with Mr. and Mrs. Kivel, Cantor Levine, and Mrs. Rosenstein. Finally, our New York trip was just a blast, and I know I will remember it for the rest of my life. It was a very good ending to a wonderful 12 years at Solomon Schechter. As Pirkei Avot says, Kineh lecha chaver. Acquire yourself a friend, for a friend will be with you forever. Thank you all for the wonderful support and education you've given me. I leave my school here tonight with only the best of memories and the hope that we will all succeed in our future endeavors. Thanks again.
Staci Joshana Lifshin.
I feel privileged to be one of the first students to attend Solomon Schechter Academy from the 2-year-olds all the way through 8th grade in the same building. In my 12 years here, many teachers have contributed to my learning and growing experiences. I want to thank all of them for the great lessons they have taught me, not only from the textbook, but from life as well. I have also been able to get in touch with my Jewish background in Judaica class, which I feel is an important part of my education. Yehudim leYahudot kamo lev adam, la'adam. Jews is to Judaism like a heart is to a person. Thanks again for giving me the opportunity that many kids are not fortunate enough to have. Now to all my friends. I thank you for being there when I needed you most. Ahava lekulam kamo shalom ba'olam. Love is for everyone like peace is to the world. I never felt alone or neglected because I knew I could go to you for anything. At Schechter, it is really hard not to become friends with your classmates. There are so few of us that we have had to stick together or we wouldn't have survived. I hope we can continue the friendships we have made here for many years to come. After being at Schechter for so long, I now feel prepared to move on to high school. Thanks again from the bottom of my heart. I love you and will miss you.
Erin Miriam Morgan.
Standing before all of you today brings back many memories from the short 2 years I've been here at Solomon Schechter. Some of the memories that stand out for me are the start of last year when I was a new girl in school, with everyone introducing themselves and anxious to help me out. The routine of our prayers and discussions during services. The freedom we were given on our Texas history trip and New York trip. The social action trips to the food shelter. The student council meetings. The house caution we had to schedule ourselves, and the visits with Barbara. I remember times at school where we embraced our religion and traditions wholeheartedly as we learned. I also have many memories of times that tried our patience and times where remaining trustworthy was a challenge. But I can look back now and see how our school influenced our actions by placing these scenarios before us to improve our problem-solving skills and character. In our daily brachot, we say, Baruch atah Hashem, Elokeinu melech haolam, hamim misadei gaver, where we thank and praise the Lord our God for guiding us on our path. Today, I would also like to thank and praise all the teachers and school staff for their guidance and say lehitraot to all of them and all the friends I have made here.
Ryan Ari Morgan.
When I first came to Solomon Schechter, I was new to Dallas. I was a frightened new kid in a new school and in a new city, and we weren't even living in our home yet. I even flew back to El Paso 2 weeks after school started to finish my last-minute bar mitzvah lessons. I was very glad to be going here to Solomon Schechter, where I could continue my Jewish studies and have the comfort of my Jewish heritage to help with all the other changes going on in our lives. All of this seems so long ago, as I stand here today actually graduating. The following Hebrew statement expresses how I feel today. Hayom bishvili simcha ve'etzev cholchim yad beyad. Today, for me, happiness and sadness are walking hand in hand. The happiness I feel is wrapped up in the excitement of today and what the future holds. The sadness is for all of the good times, friends, routines, and teachers I will miss when I move on. I have good memories of the years I have spent here. I had the chance for the first time to play soccer and softball. This was also my first time to play basketball competitively, and I even represented our school in the All-Star game. The school trips were great ways to learn about our history and politics and still have fun. It was exciting to get to see the places and items we'd been reading about in books, and the trips definitely beat the annual school trips to Wet n Wild, which were all we had at my old school. Who knows what experiences and travels the future holds? What I do know is that it will be strange after 9 years not to have to wear a kippah every day at school. I will miss my friends, teachers, and this school. But don't worry, in 13 months, I know you'll find me in the carpool line picking up my siblings. God knows what I'll be driving. Thanks for pushing me, expecting the best of me, believing in me, and helping make me what I am today.
Every year, I have heard the same story from the graduates of Schechter. When you leave Schechter, you are going to miss it so much. I wonder, is this really true? When prior Augusts have approached, I haven't thought much of school because I was always going back to my old routine, to Schechter. But now, sudden changes are occurring in my life, and this next August won't be the same. I won't be a student at Schechter anymore. Not many people actually admit to enjoying life at Solomon Schechter. I should know. I have been one of those people. But tonight I feel that admitting this fact is my only way of saying goodbye. As I think of my past 12 years at Schechter, I clearly remember these incidents. Listening to Shabbat stories, sitting in Barbara's office, making lifelong friends, and enjoying so many uniquely Schechter activities. For 12 long years, I have had support and care from all my teachers, and I have taken what they have taught me for granted. Today is the day I realize that I am going to need all of the knowledge that I can get. I would sincerely like to thank aloud all who have taught me so much. I would also like to thank my friends and family for always being there for me. As I leave Schechter, all that I am leaving behind will become memories. Zikaron l'maaseh limudim vehaverot. I will move on, but never forget. For forgetting will be losing, and I'll never want to lose Schechter. So I ask myself and my peers, are we going to miss Schechter? I can definitely say that without a doubt, I will.
Aaron Brady.
Zero score and 7 years ago, I came to Solomon Schechter for the 2nd grade. I have learned and grown throughout my years at this school. I came here afraid that I would have no friends and that I would spend my time thinking about my old school. But thanks to my teachers, I haven't a moment to worry. I've been too busy. I would like to thank all of my teachers who have helped make me a better Jew and a better human being. In Pirkei Avot it is written, Kol hamlamed Torah zocheh ledaberim harbeh, which means, whoever teaches the Torah shall receive a host of merits. And so here it goes. Thank you, Mrs. Kivel, Mrs. Cohen, Mrs. Ashby, Mrs. McEwen, Rabbi Keith Stern, Mrs. Geffen, Mrs. Passio, Mrs. Kaplan, Mrs. Jonas, Mrs. Rosenstein, Barbara Carr Goodman, Dr. Rosenblatt, and Mr. Paskowitz, all of whom have helped make me a smarter person morally and academically. This school will always be important to me because of the things that I've learned, the friends that I've made, and the memories I will take with me. My time at this school will never be forgotten.
Molly Malka Richmond.
Picture in your mind a grand piano with white keys, some of which sparkle more than others, and long, graceful-looking pedals. There are many parts that contribute to this instrument that you can't see unless you take the time and look carefully. We, the students, are the keys of the piano. Some of us have less favorable notes which might stand out when played alone, but when combined with others can create perfect harmony. The teachers and administrators serve as the pedals of the piano. They are the primary source of guidance for the keys. With the correct combination of pedals and keys, learning can be extended, halted, or even shifted. A piano holds many parts, some of which don't often receive the recognition they deserve. Without these parts, the piano would not function at its best. This also holds true in our school. These parts are not necessarily people or objects, but a feeling. This feeling surrounds you like a blanket of warmth the instant you step into our school. You can sense an incredible feeling of friendship with most people around you. You will never find this in a Solomon Schechter brochure or an old yearbook, but you experience it in this second home. This is what makes Solomon Schechter Academy such an individual and special place to start not only an education, but many lifelong friendships. A thank you to all of my musical conductors for developing our talents and drawing the purest note from each of us. Der Slicha Kita Ched, Shah 1996. Tonight is the finale of our musical performance. May the notes of our music always be heard at Solomon Schechter.
As the opening words of a television show state, making it in the world today takes everything you got. Getting away from all your troubles sure would help a lot. Wouldn't you like to get away? Sometimes you want to go where everybody knows your name, and they're always glad you came. You want to go where people know troubles are all the same. You want to go where everybody knows your name. This is how I feel about my life at Schechter. My friends, my teachers, and this administration have all grown to be a small family, a mishpaha, knowing everyone's name. We were always glad when someone came, always trying to help someone escape from his or her troubles. Hine matovu manaim, shevet ahim gam yachad. It is always good to be together with friends. Over my many years at Schechter, I have had great role models, and I need to thank them all, not only for teaching and supporting me, but for shaping me into a good Jewish mensch. So to all my remarkable teachers and administrators, thank you very much from the bottom of my heart for 12 extraordinary years. I will always remember this place. I will miss you. I hope I could always come back to this place where everybody knows my name.
Solomon Schechter has been wonderful for me these last 4 years. These 7th and 8th grade trips were exciting and a lot of fun, and so are the 5th and 6th grade campouts. This school has helped me with my Judaica and Hebrew studies, along with all the other major courses. For the years that come, I'll remember everything that both Schechter and my classmates have done for me. Some of my classmates will become long-lasting friends. Kol hamabed nefesh echad ki ilu ibed olam. Kol hamekayem nefesh echad ki ilu kiyem olam. If you destroy a single life, then you destroy a world. And if you save that precious life, then you have saved a world. Solomon Schechter has allowed me to face the world. Although the world out there is tough, the teachers I have had have each given me a little advice which I will try to follow. To all my teachers and friends, I express my thanks. Hevenu Shalom Aleichem, peace unto you. Thanks again for a great 4 years.
Julie Yael Sapolsky.
As I reflect upon my years at Solomon Schechter Academy, I realize how fortunate I have been to receive an education in such a warm and caring environment. I will always be grateful to the many teachers who have shown such concern and sensitivity throughout the years. Where else would I have been able to obtain both the Judaic and general studies education of this caliber? The strong religious foundation of Torat Chaim ve'ahavat chesed u'tzedakah has prepared me to confidently move forward as a Jewish woman, Eshet Chayil, in today's society. I believe the general studies education I've acquired will enable me to become successfully integrated within any educational environment. As a result of being in such a small school, I was able to take advantage of the many special privileges offered. The individual attention and the various programs I have participated in over the years have become memories I will cherish always. Although I am excited about future learning experiences, I know the positive values of Solomon Schechter Academy will remain with me forever. Todah LeSolomon Schechter, she'echinu oti le'atid. Thank you, Solomon Schechter, for preparing me for the future.
Yael Sokol.
Hubert Humphrey once said, quote, "The greatest gift of life is friendship, and I have received it." End quote. 12 and a half years ago, a little girl came to Solomon Schechter not knowing what lay ahead. A couple years of fun and a whole lot of memories. Mrs. Geffen's talking to herself, and Rabbi Stern's vocab only begin the list. What about Mrs. Kivel's tales from around the world? How boring school would have been without them. Walking through these Schechter halls for possibly the last time, I am overwhelmed with memories like these and others that are just as important. What I am trying to say is that Schechter is my life, and without it I would have been miserable. My only wish is for my life at the school to be kept in a time capsule and opened in 30 years to be remembered, but not necessarily relived. Thanks, Solomon Schechter, lehitraot. I hope I can get along without you. As someone once said, quote, "Gratitude is when memory is stored in the heart and not in the mind," end quote. Zikaron katuv be'even yachol laha'alam, aval zikaron katuv balev hu lanetzach yisha'er. A memory on stone can disappear, but a memory in your heart will survive forever.
Ladies and gentlemen, before we have our presentation, I'd like to ask all of the students if you would stand so we can greet the entire class. Tamar Khan has gotten up. She's going to make a presentation on behalf of the class. And this afternoon at our awards program, she received a singular recognition as a Student of the Year at Solomon Schechter. And I'd like to also ask Dr. Fred Grinnell, the chair of our school board, to come up on the podium and to receive the gift.
Every morning of our middle school years, we've entered Beit Aryeh for services. It is our pleasure to present to Solomon Schechter Academy 2 new Torah table covers and a Torah cover to be used for daily and holiday services. We hope this legacy will inspire many more classes of middle school students.
Well, on behalf of the Solomon Schechter Board of Directors, I want to thank you for your gift. I want to remind you that as much as we like things that you give us, we want you to come back and come to our alumni events and our other events. And I don't really have any remarks that I planned, but I couldn't help but note that each of the people who spoke to you, the rabbis, the president of Shearith Israel, president of Federation, each one had the same concern, and that is they were all concerned about your continuing your Jewish education and your continuing your Jewish identity. And I think that your talks that you've given have answered their concern. I don't think they have to worry.
I'd like to call your attention to that frame that is to my left in front of the flag of Medinat Yisrael. You can see that, and you know that the flag of Israel is a star. The star of Magen David has always been an important symbol for all of us. And for us, this is a very special star. We call it L'Dor Vador. It means from generation to generation. And first of all, I'd like to ask all of the graduates of Schechter from previous years who are here tonight if you would stand so we can welcome you. Each one of these students' name is already on this frame. And tonight, we have added each of your names so that when you come and look at it, after you do the recessional, you will see that each one of your names is already there. Because we number you among our future generations. Because you are our future. You and your brothers and your sisters. And we have a lot of confidence, as Dr. Grinnell said, that the commitments that you talked about this evening will be ones that you will make come true. And not only are we confident, but I can tell you that it will be something that we will continue to feel and talk about in our prayers and our hopes as we dedicate ourselves to educating future generations. And so it's a great pleasure for me to point that out to you. And ladies and gentlemen, I think it gives us as parents and grandparents and teachers a real sense of fulfillment that we are passing on our heritage, our neshama, from one generation to the next. In academic settings, we also have a formal way of doing that. And I'd like to thank Mr. and Mrs. Saul Kaplan. I'd like to ask them to stand because Mr. and Mrs. Kaplan have, could you stand, please, where you are, and so we could recognize you. Mr. and Mrs. Kaplan have set up a fund some years ago, and it is their pleasure and their zechut, their privilege, to give the gift, the book that we give to our graduates every single year. And we are so grateful for your thoughtfulness and your generosity and your commitment. Thank you. Next is the presentation of our diplomas and the books, and I'd like to ask Mr. Kaplan and Dr. Grinnell if you would come to this side so that you'll be able to give out the books, and Mr. Paskowitz, if you will join me here, so we'll be able to give out the diplomas. I feel like a talk show host. It's really terrible. Ariel Borrego. Evan Fuller. Leo Clymer. Michael Gardner.
Henry Jinnich. Tamara Khan. Michael Kelmanson. Benjamin Coder. Staci Lifshin. Aaron Morgan. Ryan Morgan. Michelle Poliak. Aaron Reagan. Molly Richmond. Aaron Rose. Adam Schweig. Julie Sokolsky. And Jody Stokel.
you to rise and to join with me in the Bracha Shechianu, which is our traditional recognition of such singular occasions. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, shechianu v'nimanu v'nimanu l'zman hazeh. Please remain standing for Hatikvah, which will be followed by the recession. Immediately following the recessional, everyone is cordially invited to a reception in honor of our graduates, which is sponsored by the 7th grade families at our school. Thank you.